pretty dirtily, right? A 13-4 on Haven, a 13-6 on Ascent. The next time we see 100 Thieves, it's a new roster.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Hiko not going to do that. But troll. Watching even the footage from in Masters here, 400 Thieves, A is the word. Going there, making sure Hiko gets the Sova ult orbs right away. Looking at their match previously in Masters, Hiko had ult by round 4 with a few kills to boot on top of that to make it a little bit easier than just grabbing orbs. So a big focus there. And we saw Tenz when they were playing on defense on Ascent, pushing that area quite a bit. A main control is always big, and I think even more so coming into this match here.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And, you know, I think on the other side, we take a look at 100 Thieves, and the desk mentioned him, but I want to talk about him just a bit more.
Do it.
It's Nitro. Nitro on the Sage, too. Riv, like, Nitro's having himself an excellent tournament. You look across the board at the
and
players.
And even back to challengers a bit, Doug.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He's just been, since the guy had a kid, somehow just is, like, reaching deep into the depths of superhuman power. And he's just been out of control. And the thing is, Riv, it's not...
He can take care of everybody on the team now as Sage.
He's just dad. And the thing is, it's not just his gunplay, right? Like, we know Nitro's a filthy shot.
Yep. Yeah,
but
Potter talked about it.
You see the versatility, right? Like the willingness to be innovative with the way he's playing Sage. He can use her as a battle Sage. He can come up with really cheeky wall angles to go ahead and get sightlines that you wouldn't normally have. I think he's putting on a masterclass on Sage in this tournament.
Absolutely. And we talk about 100 Thieves, and you have to look at Sentinels. As always, such a strong team individually. They talked about Sick on the desk. They talked about Tenz on the desk. You can't not talk about Tenz right now. And Dapper himself, he's had an amazing tournament so far, holding sights down by himself to make sure the team can get there and make the pressure play. And Zom's with his regular 2-3Ks, and Zom's Nation up in arms, sending the energy because he is holding down sights so well. This is going to be a hell of a match, Doug. We're about to get into round 1 to see what this best of 3 can deliver.
100 Thieves starting off on the attack, starting off as a bunch towards the B side of the map. We'll see how they choose to play this out. Good. Oh, man. So that's something that actually I want to keep a close eye on. We're going to talk about a lot. That slow orb with the grenade combo is so devastating, Riv.
Yeah, finding it in those little choke points where you know people are going to have to either show themselves to get out or relieve themselves of that position entirely is going to give you a lot of room. Already into mid here, 100 Thieves is trying to pressure quite quick. That spike's going to be working its way slowly through Garage. Once Market makes its move, that's when the hit's going to be coming in. And the drone's still going to be first as they're getting halted a little bit here by Sentinels.
Yeah, the smoke just had just a sliver, right? And they were able to see through that and pick off a couple of members of 100 Thieves. An excellent start from Sentinels. And Riv, you saw, we highlighted him at the beginning. Nitro with the wall up across the mid, ensuring that nobody's coming in from the defender spawn to take that area of the map, forcing them into the defender spawn, into B. But from there, you would think, okay, they've got that, right? They can funnel that off, but there was just so much that went through that smoke that 100 Thieves couldn't handle.
That's big. That sliver of the smoke, the intensity of the play being at speed. Sometimes you don't get that click right, and Sentinels find the flaw there. So now they're going to go for that A main control, making sure that no easy orbs are grabbed. Yeah, instantly comboing a few bits of utility to gain ground there. So info already grabbed. They don't know about Gelato just yet, but Sentinels can now start making an informed decision on how they want to play this defense.
And you know, Riv, Sick. Oh man, Ethan and Asuna, they got messed up. And then the judge from Tenz getting the first one on to steal. We mentioned Asuna was also still pretty weak as they try to figure out how do they get past the defenses from Sentinels here.
I mean, they have everything they need on this Hiko. Beautiful job as they're still trying to taunt Cat here. Sick comes up with 2 quick ghost kills, and Shazam's going to look to finish one in Sobroza position. There's one for him, and here comes Sick to finish this one off. Jumping Judge. Now Dapper's going to get that one. A pretty quick and easy cleanup round for Sentinels. They do lose Tenz, not too much econ damage. And we'll see what 100 Thieves now has for the first gun round. Already, Hiko again, 3 away from that ult, and he's going to be heading over to that right side. He may get one with him, but no, it's okay. So the first time we saw them, it was all A. Even the ascent maps we've seen today have been all A, and they seem to be changing it up a bit. It could be that 2-man team, though, to get the orb for Hiko. We'll see if it definitely pans, or eventually pans out, rather.
You're absolutely right, Riff. I was going to draw attention to that, but you see how they've really changed their focus. The game plan that they are bringing into this match is different from what we've seen them use before. They're fighting so much more for B control, but it's really the middle of the map that they're looking to expose. 3 rounds now where they try to make something happen here before they go elsewhere.
Sentinels doing an early stack at B before they fan back out into regular defense. But they still have both of their finding utility on rotation. You can see Dapper and Shazam floating between sites. Now they're kind of taking hold of market on that crossfire as Ethan opens one up, a first blood coming from the Omen here on 100 Thieves.
I think another thing that'll be interesting to keep an eye on is we've seen 100 Thieves play. The emphasis that they place are on playing through ult orbs, right? Like get them into the most valuable hands as possible. But if you're looking to expose the middle of the map, it's not there.
They're making a slow move for that to start now. Cutting off the crossfire. Nitro wants the 1v1. Feeling confident. He's had such a good fight for himself, but it's not going to work. They break the wall immediately, and Shazam gets the best of that trade. Shazam's ready for the paranoia, ready to call in the cavalry here to come over towards the A site, and he starts hearing footsteps as they begin the initiation.
Steel has gotten onto the site. He's going to get the spike down for now. While slightly, it seems like 100 Thieves have control of the site. They're an excellent post plans as well. They have decent control, at least enough to be close by. Asuna is for tree, but the paranoia comes out. Tenz dashing in. He's got a judge in his back pocket. The turret's there, and Steel, 100 Thieves across the board, just mows Sentinels down.
And it was a round of feeling them out, right? You have that mid-take. Sage wall is a pretty big dedication. If you see that wall going up, you expect a few more people to be there. The slow walk to Cat, there was so much room for 100 Thieves to grab. They were basically up. Steel was planting in the site before the rotation came in and the full idea of what 100 Thieves was doing there. So they take their time on that third gun round, and we're going into the fourth round, 2-1 in favor of Sentinels.
I need to blow something up.
Looks like Tenz going to have the Blade Storm. Yep, there it is. He uses it right off the bat. There's that nade and slow combo that we touched on. But you see, Riv, like the emphasis that Sentinels are placing on A, and you wonder how much of that was work that was done prior in anti-stratting to see how they want to play that. They invested the paranoia down A long. They're sending Phoenix out there as well, but Hiko's playing back. There's nothing that's given away.
And it seems known, right? Knowing you as a team are setting a precedent is one of the ways you don't get caught. And 100 Thieves are playing much differently towards that side of the ult orb that was focused. Like I said, Hiko had ult coming into round 4 on their previous match here in Masters on Ascent. Just a minute left in this round. Looks like we got guns on both sides, and they are playing it quite slow. Mid to split the map once again is the deal. Remember, it was Nitro putting the wall up here to get one of the rounds, and now they're actually probably going to work off of this with the rest of the team going up towards Cap.
But it may be a bait. I think the other interesting thing, okay, so Sick goes in aggressive, understands that that's likely where they're going to want to hit. They drop Tenz on the swing. He's not going to get a chance to do anything, but Zoms is, as he gets a second one as well. The spike goes down. You see them all starting to rotate over. They can squat on that, understanding where the play's coming from. But run it back has been used. Sick goes in, doesn't get anything. Zoms still there. He's going to drop to Nitro as well. Nitro just continues to go off Riv, a 2v2 as they try to get onto A.
Nitro and Hiko, who would the fans want up more? Well, it looks like Shazam on the side of Sentinels. Hiko dives in to find one, and he thinks he's got a bit of room to work with, but Dapper's always on the lurk. He is going to be able to finalize that kill for Sentinels, and that is a 3-1 scoreline to start us off here, and we'll see how 100 Thieves get into this one. There's the Sheriff that you'll always see Steel buy-in as Six starts this one off nice. Ethan has had a lot of confidence going towards Cat here, so big ups to Zoms to be able to just shut that one down there.
Yeah, and I think the middle of the map too, right? We've talked about it, and I was starting to wonder what are Sentinels going to do to address that area of the map, because you can't leave it open. right? If the wall's going to keep going up from Nitro, how do you adjust around that? And there we saw an adjustment, and look, we're seeing one now here too. Look at how far Tenz is up, how far up Tenz is here.
Back to gun round. I was gonna say, we need a few more rounds to see this, but it's not usual that you see 100 Thieves being prevented from at least getting into that spike site, having steal on a really lurky flank and making problems for the other team. Here, it just seems like they're getting snuffed out quickly. Sentinels then backs up, plays a little zone defense, if you will, on their sites, and there's nothing more that 100 Thieves can do until they feel out again where that threat might be. Good res coming from Nitro. They even out the balance here for round 5. And where do they go now?
You can tell with that investment, 100 Thieves really looking to get the ball rolling here and take a round. No presence across the middle of the map here, really, for either squad.
Yeah.
As it looks like they're trying to work their way into tree. Zoms is there. Couple of smokes coming out, understanding that after as much time has passed with only 38 seconds left, there's a good chance that's where the hit's going to be. Hiko using the Hunter's Fury to clear out that area of the map as his team tries to get in. Asuna gets the first one onto Zoms. Sick, excuse me. Now Shazam's in a great spot to blow it up. Shazam was already good for 2. Steel manages to get through. He's going to drop in the spikes up there too, Riv. Things have gone so sideways for 100 Thieves.
Hiko trying to save this one. Clutch Master coming in. 2v1 situation. Sees one towards screens, and Shazam has had everyone's number this game. There's nothing that's getting past him. And it was there so quick. A note you want to get out for 100 Thieves there. They are one of the teams that uses ults in combination more than not. More than any other team. Here we see that Omen from the shadows along with the Sova Hunter's Fury, and Sentinels reacted perfectly. Able to just shut it down and not be too scattered.
And that, my friends, is going to put 100 Thieves on a pistol, right? Like sheriffs across the board, a couple of ghosts maybe, but certainly not what you want to bring into this round. So far, you know, it's early, it's only the first map, but this really has been rather impressive by Sentinels, how they've already made adjustments, how they clearly did their homework, and even through 100 Thieves kind of changing things up a bit, Sentinels have still managed to keep it at bay.
And those rounds, you expect to win, right? You have 2 ultimates going out. You're forced to an eco now. And Sentinels is feeling much more hot on pushing out to get these kills. Hiko's going to take down Sick, though, so they may be able to pick up a weapon as Zom's trying to cover those at the moment. 3v2 situation, and this one got a little more hairy than I think Sentinels would have liked as they pushed out, getting a little loose in that play. But sometimes you got to send a message. Sentinels is doing a great job here from the defending side to shut down 100 Thieves so far. Hiko and Steel still alive, and that's a possibility to take this round for 100 Thieves.
I mean, a slim one, but yes, a possibility nonetheless. You look at Hiko, 55 health, Steel with 32, and I don't think they've had a chance to upgrade weapons. They also have a decent idea of where they are, and that just went from really bad to worse. Hiko's left alone. All he's got is a ghost. What he doesn't have is health. He drops at the hands of Shazam, the player who you highlighted just a round or really 2 ago, where he has really been an enormous difference maker. And Riv, the dude's 7-1 right now.
Honestly, feeling it. We saw Sick. I mean, Shazam still had his rounds. You can't cut him out. He always comes up with the 2-3 Ks, but he still has these performances as the in-game leader as well, Doug. We hear that all the time, but it really is taxing to be making the calls, feeding info, and then conducting yourself in an instant to be on top of the play. Shazam is absolutely killing it, and it's why he's regarded as one of the best in-game leaders in there.
All right, now keep an eye for 100 Thieves. Given how this half is gone, they have, oh no, Sick understanding that that's where it might come. He's going to swing out. He's got the curveball. Understanding that there's likely pressure coming from 100 Thieves because they have the lockdown, because they have the showstopper out of Asuna. They push into where they expect that aggression to come, but it's actually the middle of the map again. Much like the pistol, the paranoia, the wall, Asuna doesn't get a chance to use the showstopper. As soon as he brings it online, he gets ripped down. Tenz still trying to stay alive. He's got the Blade Storm. He's not going to be able to use it either. Ethan trades it out and equalizes things at 4 apiece.
Dapper is still looking through the wall. He could have a decent flank coming in here if he chooses market in just a few. The rest of Sentinels is held off. And 100 Thieves are working this one quite slow right now. Sit coming up with 2 during the chaos of Hunter's Fury. There's the run it back into the site. He's going to see one Boathouse, but focus on the spike. What a choice for the 3K there. Coming from Sick on the Phoenix. Now it's Nitro in the back of Boathouse. A rough one here as he throws down the heal pack. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of this one alive as they pinch him from all sides.
No, there's really, I mean, no options, right? At that point, they smell it, they swarm around him, they take him out. He was just kind of trapped back there. And again, Riv, 100 Thieves, they were stacked up along B first, right? Sick pushes in aggressively, forces them to reconsider, and then they actually go to exploit the middle of the map, and it looked good, right? The wall went up, there was no resistance there. The paranoia in case someone was in market, there wasn't. Yeah. And that was their moment of entry. Asuna with the showstopper, looking to crack the side open and give them room to breathe, and just flat right off the board. I cannot stress the impact of that kill.
This is going to be a really good time to have that lockdown. Shazam is 5 away from having his ultimate, so it's going to be really tough for him to even be able to do anything to get that away. They don't have raise nades, and Molly hard to find there. So we'll see how they work it. It was towards B to start here, but getting that lockdown up in that A cubby is really effective. It's kind of a choice right now, and they're waiting to see if there's a push, what utility is used. Quite a bit of patience. A tactical pause as well as I'm looking down at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is they're going to come in with nothing, right? Like as far as weaponry goes. So you're not going to have full rifles. You imagine
right.
This round is just going to be so difficult to win just because of that point.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, with that in mind, 100 Thieves have historically shown they have no problem pulling a trigger on something like this, right? If they can get one pick, maybe it's on Tenz with the op, then they have the confidence that they feel like they can invest into it. But it all really hangs on the balance of at least one. They've got to get one.
Fake TP as Ethan tries to draw a little bit of attention now towards that A main. So 3 stay, spike towards the other side of the site. So this 100 Thieves now trying to kind of work through a window as Sick pushes up through B main, usually where they have the turret, but it's going to be on their side of the map here. That costs them 1. Asuna goes down. Where do they go from here? Spike's still going to be working that left side. They may try to do a late work towards B here if they can find enough utility, or at least who is at A covering.
You know, maybe, and it's just so risky, right? But if they full send A, draw everything off, then Steel's there with the lockdown, it might be good for something, but Zoms is just left unchecked. Riv, Tenz gets one from up in heaven as well with the operator. Oh! And then there was the last one, right? A flawless round out of Sentinels. They're clicking on all cylinders, and 100 Thieves, they've given different looks, right? They've tried B, they've mainly leaned on the middle of the map. They even tried A in that round as well, back to what they had done historically. Nothing's working.
Sick continues to do that round after round. We saw it previously in their game on Ascent where he was hiding behind Jenny, got a few kills, flashes the entire team, and then just right-clicks Cypher running at him to take him down. He's so good in a tight spot, and one of the things about Sick is he is an anchor. He's a huge anchor. If Dapper's rotating to give more util and info into the site, Sick is still guarding that site. He was at B forever, and it counted big for Sentinels there.
All right, so check this out, right? Sentinels have pushed B aggressively the last couple of rounds. Steel has an op, right? It looks like he's looking across the middle of the map now, but early on it looked like he was reading for that, expecting that aggression out of Sentinels. Keep a close eye on that. We'll see if he's able to get any value out of it. Meanwhile, there is a dueling operator on the other side in the hands of Tenz, locking down anything that could be headed towards B. Once again, it's going to be the middle of the map exploited from 100 Thieves, but you got to convert. Right, you've got to make something happen out of that. You can have mid-map all you want. If you can't make anything out of it, what's the point?
If this is the round, it's going to happen if it does. They've chosen the perfect one. You already have Zoms pushed all the way back to Wine, so he's going to have difficulty rotating unless he ults right out, which could cause chaos, but you get an ult out. They choose not to because it might be too quiet there. They're going to call an audible. They're going to go towards Cat. Hiko's going to dart over here, and he might just meet Zoms a little earlier than he likes as he heads into Wine. This could be the drone to start, and there it is.
This is scary, Riff, because Sentinels, by process of elimination, have a really good idea of where the hit's going to come, and then the lockdown there confirms everything. They're going to funnel onto the site. Asuna, one of the first ones there.
Ethan waiting in mid. Is he gonna see Tiles? He looks back right at the right time. Back and forth. Tenz able to trade with the off, but Asuna coming up huge there. And the kills are just a flurry in the site. Spike's gonna be able to get planted now. Asuna, Hiko, and Ethan versus Dapper. What an execute onto the site. They didn't like mid. They feel it out towards A, and they actually capture Sentinels spread out enough to take a good post plant here. Let's see what Dapper can do.
I mean, the thing is, Dapper has so much money, so much money. He could afford to try something like that. But yeah, obviously it doesn't pan out. That's a very difficult 1vx, especially after post plans have already been assumed. So for 100 Thieves, we mentioned the importance for them to need to get something going. Yeah. And I think the important thing, Riv, is they did so by only investing one ultimate. Right? You still have the Hunter Suri, you still have the Rez, and Ethan and Asuna both 1 point away from getting theirs online. 100 Thieves are at a position here where they can really snowball and make this a very competitive half.
Dapper varying up the sites he's playing. Now with 2 traps on that tree area where we've seen 100 Thieves go a few times, they want to ensure that's not what happens. It's been hard to retake now for Sentinels on the rounds. They have gotten in, and they're just stopping any bleeding if they think it's going to start from there. Again, feeling out mid here for 100 Thieves. And they do have good ultimates on this round. Ethan and Asuna 1 away. They're both on deck to get something out here, and they're going to start pushing mid now with the smoke in to see if they get any potential push coming out of Sentinels to see what's in mid.
Where the Sentinels also saw the spike with the drone there going through, so you know, you really, that's such a telegraph of what 100 Thieves are looking to do and the default that they've been running the last couple of times. And with that, you see Sentinels are still just staying home, right? You haven't seen them shuffle a lot. Now they're making a good bit of noise around tree.
This trap read coming in from Dapper could be so big. I mean, it could be a blast pack and they're gone, right? Once they feel like something's there. But these traps being moved could really set up a big problem. Wall going out, they're not going to be able to do much of that.
So when the wall goes up and the paranoia comes out and they see that nobody's coming, look at how quickly they start funneling back towards B, understanding that that's not where the hit is. You're running out of time. Tenz is already there waiting with open arms as he takes care of Steel. 100 Thieves, again, they're looking to make something happen across the map, and Sentinels have just been reading them like a book.
Yeah, looking for that mid flank again. It was almost in the same spot. Zombs again, the back of the site. Sick, a 3K. What's new? And Sentinels are shutting down 100 Thieves. 8-2 here in the first half. And this is a strong, strong defense.
And Riv, I think the impressive thing for me, again, has been how Sentinels are reading 100 Thieves. Right? That wall goes up, and that's not a new wall. Nitro showed that wall a couple of days ago. And as soon as that goes up, you saw the paranoia come out, because that's a hey, we want to hit into tree, we want to get back towards A and blow something up through heaven, like they actually tried doing a couple of rounds ago, where Steel died with the spike up in heaven. But as soon as that goes up and there's no pressure, it's told. Here's a very interesting bit of aggression out of Sick, using the run it back, doing out everything, and he gets the kill. There's so much value there.
Nitro peeked it. That would have almost been the crossfire. I think they were just off by a few feet there. Drone's going to see Tenz down to 10 HP here, so Sentinel's taking a hit. That's exactly what 100 Thieves needed after losing Nitro. And the push-up's going to make Dapper know what's in mid. Uzi's got to fight. The trade comes in from over the shoulder. Steel's able to take down Dapper in a 2v1.
Big kill there, too.
Wow.
And it seems to be getting better. Asuna takes care of Shazam. The spike hanging out over in Wine. They're going to flip them. They're not going to flip the map. Okay. Well, there's just a lot of info that's gathered there, but at this point, they're kind of committed. Asuna Showstopper connects. The Hunter Fury is going to be used from Hiko as well to clear out Heaven. But Tenz, man, fancy footwork, and he gets the kill with 10 health, continuing to be a nuisance. And Steel, again on the flank, he might blow this thing up. You've got Hiko, and you've got Asuna. Well, you had Hiko, and you had Asuna, and they're not around any longer. Sentinels, once again, 7 rounds, Riv. If I told you this morning, like if I told you this morning that this is what the first half was going to consist of, would you have believed me?
Absolutely not. You see a padding of 2 or 3 rounds for either team, and they iterate. The opposing team iterates. They're doing something different. The round's taken slower. They're drawing util. And 100 Thieves is doing all that. But we're still seeing, as you said, the aim just on point. for Sentinels. And then what do you do after that? If it feels like nothing is working, you kind of work as a death ball, move around, and make sure you get the kill. Here we see just about everyone on 100 Thieves now focusing A with a 3-2 split.
No charges left.
And this is what we saw out of 100 Thieves, a notable amount, really, when we saw them play Ascent last time, where they look to expose a lobby, where they try to get something going this way, even if just to get the ult orbs. So it looks like they're kind of going back to what they know.
Satchel out.
But the thing is, they're putting a lot in the hands of Asuna here. He's one of the few guns being traded around. Ethan's got a rifle as well. Dapper, one of the first lines of defense. Excellent paranoia.
Oh.
My goodness. Sitting ducks, Rib.
Patience, Doug. It's all the patience that Sentinels has right now. They're just waiting for 100 Thieves to cross their aim. Make contact. Here it is. Steel doing what he can. Feeling pretty good. He's going to say, you got to come to me if you want to make it happen for now. Oh, he's going to challenge it. Shazam says, I'm more than happy to come on in there with the Odin. Taking down Steel. He's got a celebratory rip of the magazine there. And Sentinels now take first half 10-2 on our first map. This is the map selected by 100 Thieves, with Sentinels taking defense first.
I mean, what a performance out of Sentinels, right? And this is the matchup we were also excited for. Both teams have different rosters. 100 Thieves has their play style that they love to lean into, where they're very methodical and they're very intelligent in how they play the map. And then you've got Sentinels on the other side who've got some of that flavor, right? A little spice, a little salsa to the way that they play. And we were so excited about the matchup. And Sentinels so far, I mean, dude, 100 Thieves have had nothing.
It seems like uncertainty. Take that moment where Dapper was able to get the Collat double kill, or even just the transfer that was very close there. Both were strafing back and forth out of the smoke. You know, there's no one to take the advantage. There's no trade within that back and forth of shadowing each other. It becomes very difficult. So it just seems like uncertainty, a little miscommunication there on a bit of timing. But even if there isn't, again, Sentinels is just coming out on top with these frags. Ethan putting up one here for pistol round. He's going to get that first blood on the Zoms. Shazam answers back to even it up, Doug, and now we're at 4v4.
Dapper having a decent idea of where Nitro is too. Dapper certainly weak. Excellent flash just in the nick of time. Sick comes out of nowhere to open things up, but Asuna says he can do a bit of the same. Shazam takes care of him as he continues to funnel onto the site. Clean shots again, dude. He's already got 3 on the round. Might even get more, yeah. What a round by Sentinels.
Man's a genie. That's ridiculous.
Now, I will say this, Rev. If there is a silver lining in this for 100 Thieves, it's this. The experience that this roster has, right? Not just in Valorant, really across their entire careers, lends itself for them to have the ability to respond to adversity in a moment like this, right? Like, they've been here. They've been here at many times. How do they respond?
That's a very good question. Honestly, a very good question, because you're playing against momentum, confidence. Like what Sentinels has been doing in some of the rounds is sending, as I said, sending that message by pushing out a little bit, knowing they've gone too far outside their bounds, and backing up to still take the round, but creating so much pressure each time. So Sentinels from defense, what they were doing now on offense, had such a ridiculous variety that it felt like, you know, 100 Thieves almost had to have a B and a C to every strat that they were coming in with. So here on defense, you see how much they're playing the close angles, Bucky's in hand, and patience. They're trying to make that their win here, as Sentinels did a few times on defense for them.
Tenz with Marshall just narrowly missing out on that shot. But, you know, I think in this moment with 100 Thieves having the guns that they have, I love how they're playing this, right? They've got a good bit of utility as Sentinels funnel into A, and here's Steel. We've seen Steel with the Bucky Man. We saw it just before the series started, how devastating he can be with it. Narrowly missing the first time, not missing the second, but Shazam once again is there. It seems like Sentinels at all times are together.
Yeah. And think about that, Doug. You take a Steel for a Tenz. That'll happen on the round, and I think 100 Thieves is feeling pretty good about that takedown here. The rest of the team's moving about. Dapper already around the side as we saw him creeping the whole time. The man just finds the lurk path each time. Zom's taking down Nitro, and now it's going to be the rotation here from Ethan as he finds Dapper here in market.
Yikes. All of the eye candy you could possibly want. Ethan eventually falls. It was nearly unwinnable of a situation there, and now we've got Sentinels at match point, 12-2 on Ascent. It's been a beautiful performance from Sentinels. They've surgically picked 100 Thieves apart on both sides of the map now, and look, even if it's not just how well they've played the map, how well they've read their opponents, when you've got Dapper doing things like we just saw a few moments ago, I mean, what do you do?
Not a whole lot, because you've probably already faced Tenz in the round, Sick in the round, and you're like, well, we might have beaten some of the raid bosses, but wait, there's another one at the end of this, so it's really, really tough. Sentinels is playing out of their minds at the moment. Everybody doing well behind. Sick, Zoms, Tenz up front. And there's Tenz to start it off once again. That's a first blood as we get into round 15, a possible last round. They get into the site, run it back here for Sick as 100 Thieves has just run for the hills on this one to try and get the retake in. Sick's already going to call that there's a few heaven, and Sentinels know even more now.
That's excellent swing there from 100 Thieves. I like the patience out of Nitro, ensuring that is indeed where the hit's going to go. The spike's gone down. Now he's going to pull off. Zom's in a great spot here. There's no flank coming through from the middle of the map, so for 100 Thieves, they're just going to have to fight their way through this thing. Asuna already good for one with the Stinger. And the thing is that the gun advantage is so heavily in favor of Sentinels here, you kind of imagine it's pretty difficult for them to pull this off, and you're seeing it play out, right? Hiko's good for one, but that's it. A 13-2 on Ascent. Riv, if that's not a statement made, I don't know what is.
Wow, Doug, that is not what I expected to see today coming in for 100 Thieves. Sentinel